What's up, y'all? Y'all know who it is, your boy JP, hoping to make your install life a little bit easier. Today we have this Kenwood dmx9708s, where we're going to be doing a radio review for you guys. It looks like we have a USB-C extension right here. You're also going to have your Bluetooth microphone. This one right here is going to come with a GPS antenna. Now, this does not have built-in navigation, but this GPS antenna does help with using like Apple Carplay and Android Auto. That's why they call it a integrated GPS unit. So you're definitely going to have an antenna for that. You're going to get a trim piece. If you're using a dash kit for your vehicle, then you're probably not going to use this. Of course, you're going to have your deck screws. You're going to have your manual with the warranty card, and since it does come with the keys for the radio, then that lets us know that this radio does have a cage around it. Next, we're going to have the wiring harness. As you guys can see, we do have the short chassis radio. So for a lot of vehicles who have a lot of stuff going on behind the dash, this will be a very good option for y'all. It is what they would call a long nose radio. So you have the buttons at the bottom. You are going to get a 7-inch screen. And like I said earlier, it is going to have that cage at the top. So let's look at the back of the radio right here. You're going to have your antenna plug. It is the standard Motorola style aftermarket plug. So if you don't have the Motorola style plug from the factory, you will need an antenna adapter. That's just how that goes. Your power port is going to go right here. It's going to be your main harness, and it does have a 15 amp fuse in the back. Right over here, we're going to see our fan with some ventilation. Next, you're going to have the GPS antenna plug, which will be right here. This is Maestro ready, or Maestro, however you pronounce it, but your iData Link 4-pin plug will be right here. So if you have a vehicle to where your heated seats, your air conditioned vents, any type of data like your car, RPMs, and check engine light, oil pressure, tire pressure, all that stuff is in your factory radio. If you wanted to swap radios, this will be a good version for you to get the Maestro RR, so you can keep all of those features. And this one right here will be used for the audio cable coming from the Maestro as well. Next, you have the V300 Sirius XM plug. So if you want to keep your satellite radio or add satellite radio and control it from this, you would need to buy the V300, and that plugs in right there. The Bluetooth microphone goes right here, and it is etched right above where it says MIC. And if you get one of the Kenwood made high definition dash cams, that will be a direct plug to that dash cam as well. Now, you do have a mini HDMI and USB Type-C plug right here. How you get to those is you have a Phillip head screw. You want to twist that Phillip head screw off, and then you will plug in your connector, put this back on, and then tighten it down. That way it stays locked in and you won't have to worry about it pulling out or anything like that. We have 3 of your audio RCA outputs. These are low level. The bottom one's going to be for a sub, the second one's going to be for your front channel, and the third one is going to be for your rear right here at the top. And these are 4-volt preamp outputs. Next, you're going to have a slot for your audio input. Right here is a video output, so if you want to actually display something on the secondary screen from here, you will use that. This one's a video input, so if you have a different source that you want to display on this screen, you will use this one. This is going to be for your front cam. This one's going to be for your rear cam, for like your reverse backup camera, and this third cam is going to be used for if you have any type of side mirror camera. So you just have to change the setting inside the radio to where it's going to be going to the left and the right. So since we actually talked about everything on the back of this radio, let's go ahead and plug it in so we can actually start to play with it. We're just using our good old Milwaukee 12-volt battery. First initial setup screen is going to be able to change your language, change the clock, so that's going to be like your date and time. Now with this right here, it'll just automatically try to sync up to the right time. What I usually do is I change it to manual, and then I go to clock adjust, and then I can set my own date and time. That's just my preference though. On display, you change this bottom color. So right now it's on scan, so all of these are just changing different colors. If I want to actually go to a solid color, then I can do that. Now, one thing I do like about it, because usually pink and purple usually look the same. That's purple, that's pink. It did give you more of like a bubblegum pink, so it's definitely different. And then you can go over here to user and then go to adjust, and it gives you the RGB, which means that you can adjust the different values of red, green, and blue to actually make a custom color for whatever you want. So seeing how we're actually turning this down, that green and that is giving you this shade, and then it shows you down here at the bottom. And then the more that we take stuff down, changing the values is going to change both the key color and that color at the top. All right, so now let's go into the camera settings. If we click it at the top, the rear view camera is automatically going to be set for rear view because it is triggered by that purple wire with the white stripe. But if we go here to front view camera or dash cam, we can click on it and assign the front camera and then press enter. Now when we go here to third camera view, we're going to pick one of these two. Let's say you want the third camera view to go to the left. We want to click that. Next, you have the audio video input, which is that 3.5mm jack that was next to all the video output RCAs. If we click on that and go to the right camera, we can assign it. So now you have a left cam, right cam, front cam, and rear cam synced up. Back on the camera setup screen, we're going to see rear camera interruption. We want to leave that on because we want to be able to swap that screen over when we put it in reverse, so we're not going to mess with that. Now there's going to be a message that displays when you actually put it in reverse. You can make that thing clear after 5 seconds, or you can keep it on, and it's usually some message that says make sure you look back behind you, so something like that. Parking guidelines, you know, usually your cameras have their own set guidelines, and these will have a parking guidelines inside the radio that you can adjust if you want to. So you can go here, you can move that over, and it's moving very, very slow, and you can just pick which one you want, move that up and move that down. Now usually I will actually turn those guidelines off unless you just have some type of custom settings that you want. But if the camera comes with guidelines, they're a little bit more true with what the camera is actually seeing, so I would probably use that. Now with the demo is the thing that keeps popping up, showing you all the type of demo screens about the features of the radio. You don't want to have that on while you're driving unless you don't care, but we're going to go ahead and turn that off, and then we're going to be finished. Now this is just a warning sign that Kenwood tells you, and if you don't press this box, it will not automatically go away. This thing will stay up until you press agree, but this is their way of saying, hey, we at least told you that you need to focus on the road. We're going to agree to that. Now here is the home screen of your Kenwood radio. Notice that both of these at the bottom are going to be grayed out. Now this does have wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So of course once you sync your phone up, one of these two will pop up depending on the phone that you have. When you go to the radio, it's going to be just like the regular Kenwood radio. You press this, it'll automatically scan back and forth between your radio stations. Press and hold to actually save it as a station, and then you'll see preset number 3 pop up over here, and then when you press that arrow the other direction, you'll see that we have it saved. Now what we did was an automatic scan. If you want to manually scan it, you need to come up here where it says auto and go to manual. Now we go to each individual 0.5, 0.7, 0.9, 0.1 and all that type of stuff. When you find the one that you like, go ahead and press it back to auto 1 or leave it manual, whichever one you want to do. So let's go back to the home screen, and then let's slide on these right here. So if we slide over to the right, we're going to see like our screensaver. Now if we come back over here to the left, we have some widgets that's already preloaded inside the radio. Now what I can do is I can hold this widget and I can slide that over here, or I can hold this and slide it over here, because all of this is fully customizable. And then when we have these two empty slots, what I can do is I can press this Kenwood icon, and then it lets me know which one, or it gives me different options on what I can put over there in those two places. So if I hold this, come over here. Now since it says no data available and we're seeing a little sun with the cloud, I'm assuming when you get your phone paired up to the wireless, it will be able to read the data on what the weather is, and it may display right here. And let's put something right over here. We can either do this histogram type of situation to where while your music is playing, it'll actually display. And if you don't want that there, all we have to do is hold it and then we'll press that X. But let's go over here and put our screensaver over there, just so we have something constantly moving. Now, another thing that we can do that I think is pretty cool with this radio, let's just say we want more pages. We can come here and then we can go to add a page, and then now we have a whole nother blank page to start putting in widgets and stuff like that. So you can literally have as many pages as you want on your front screen. If you want to delete a page, you just want to go to the page that you want to delete. We'll press that arrow, we'll press delete, we'll ask us, do you want to delete that with all the widgets that's on there? We press yes, and then now we're back to the 4 screens. Now right here at the bottom, this is going to take you to where all your other apps are at. Your wireless mirroring will be right here. This one will not work unless you have the Sirius XM V300 installed, which is that plug that we seen on the back earlier. Your Bluetooth audio, all that's going to come from your phone once you hook it up. Same thing as far as the USB and the HDMI plugs into the back. Now, if we slide over here, you're going to see a lot of things that's actually grayed out. You won't get these features unless you have the Maestro RR. Real quick, let's go in here to some of these settings. So your usual setup settings, like your camera settings, those are the ones that we went into from in the beginning of the video. User interface, this thing is going to do a whole lot of beeping. The reason you don't hear it because we don't have speakers hooked up. If you get tired of that, you can turn that off. You can also go down here to your widget setup, and we can see that we can turn off certain widgets on those home screens, and I guess that one is a weather widget. And if you want to know what firmware you have, you do need to go to special and then go to software information, and then it's going to give you your serial number, application, system, panel, CPU version, and library version. Now, one or more of these can be out of date, so make sure you stay on the Kenwood website to make sure that your radio is up to date, so don't start tripping out. Now for all the audio files, we're going to click on audio, and all this stuff pretty much looks the exact same as all the other Kenwood radios. If you go here, let your radio know what type of car you have. So it's going to be a compact car, full-size sedan, wagon, truck, or SUV. You can let them know what type of speakers you have, whether you have front 6.5s and it's in the lower door. If you click on the back, you may say you have rear 4x6s if you're in like a Ford F-150. And for the subs, if there is a factory sub, you can let them know what type of subs you have. If you don't have a factory sub and you're adding one, you can do the same thing. Now over here on crossovers, you have your front, your rear, and your sub, in which you can change the different low pass filter, high pass filter, your slope, and your gain. I actually have a video showing you guys how to do all of this. I will link it so we don't make this one longer than it has to be. Now over here, you still have your 13-band EQ. You can go to pre-select, and that will show you all the ones that Kenwood suggests. If you're listening to rock music, this one may be good for you, but we also have 4 user customizable presets that you can use. Just go to user 1 and sit in the car, listen to some music, and tune it to exactly how you like it, and then it will stay just like that. Subwoofer level at the bottom, this is going to adjust the amount of low level signal that you're giving your amplifiers. You can go all the way to +10, and if I'm not mistaken, you can go to -10. Oh shoot, you can go to negative a lot. Now when we press this positioning, this is going to be more so your time and alignment. With your listening position, as far as taking it real easy, we can make sure that the music is going to be either driver focus, passenger front focus, both of the front focus, or for everybody. We can also take it a step further and go to adjustment, and then we can actually choose how far we are from each individual speaker inside the car, just so everything hits us at the exact time that we want. Now this may be a little bit more advanced. I'm not going to get too deep off into this, but for you audiophiles, this is going to be a good feature. This one's pretty self-explanatory, the normal fade and balance. If you want to check to see if a speaker is playing or not, or maybe you got too much coming from the rear and you want to fade it a little bit more to the front, you can also do that from here. We're just going to center it up. All right, so next we have volume offset. Now, so let's just say you listen to music from your FM radio, but it's not as loud as when you listen to something from your Bluetooth audio. What we can do is we can go in and adjust the volume up however many or down however many to kind of compensate so your volume levels are all the same. Now you need to be careful with this, because every time we hit one of these pluses, you are going to be taking the volume up, which means that you need to make sure that you're clean at whatever level as you're going up and down, because we don't want to just make sure our USB is +5 so it can be the loudest that it can be, but then it's real distorted coming out the speakers. Next, you got the sound effect. That's going to be like your bass boost, your loudness. I rarely even go over there. And audio memory is one that I actually never went into, but I'm pretty sure you can save audio settings. It seems like you have a memory to where you can lock something in. You can recall old audio setups that you had, or you can clear everything and kind of start over fresh. When I get some more information on that, I'll make sure I put that and pin it in the description. As far as right now, I don't necessarily mess with this too tough. I usually go in with my EQ. I usually put that flat, and I'll come in here and mess with all of my crossovers and all that type of stuff as far as my audio. At the end of the day, I think this is a really good radio. I think the price point on this is $649 retail, and this will be the next radio that I actually get. I need something with a short chassis, and I also want something with wireless Android Auto, and this is also a high resolution player. It's going to be everything that I need in a radio: 4-volt preamp outputs, high res, wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, all that good stuff. If you guys found any type of value in this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment if you want to. I want to take this time out to actually give a shout out to everybody who decides to support the channel, whether you guys get one of those fan subscriptions from JPtheinstallguy.com, or you hit the Patreon page, or if you actually hit those links in the description. You didn't have to, but you did, and that goes a long way with me. So until the next time, this is your boy JP signing out, telling y'all to keep going, keep growing, and have a blessed day, y'all. Peace.